Hi, welcome back to another edition of Coffee Chat. My name's Chris Burns, and joining me again is Scott. Scott Gwatney, how you doing, buddy?
Good to be here, man. It's been a while.
So you've been on here a few times, and we normally talk about stuff that we do here in regards to insurance and investments and estate planning, and why is that all important?
Fun stuff.
I know, but let's talk about something that's more maybe where you focus like on the fiduciary standard, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not something that all advisors want to hear, but I feel that it's incredibly important to the individuals looking to hire a financial advisor. And what I'm talking about is getting that second opinion.
Yep. Incredibly is kind of an understatement. I mean, I think honestly, and I've heard stories, we've been in the business long enough, but it's a huge portion and a huge part, a huge question you should ask when you're sitting down with an advisor. I mean, being a fiduciary to me is probably more important these days than it ever has been, especially the way the market's been. Getting second opinions is, in my opinion, is something you have to do because two things. You're planning on retiring, getting close to retiring. Let's say you're retired. If you haven't sat down with an advisor, you haven't talked to anybody in a very long time, it's good to get either a second opinion or really just to get an opinion because you should have been contacted within the past 6 months, a year, some of these guys. If it's been longer than that, in my opinion, it's not a second opinion. It's just getting a review done and someone who actually cares. But a second opinion, to your point, is always important because just because one advisory firm, one person says it's one way, it's kind of like medical. You want to always get a second opinion before you take that final leap to do something that, is forever.
Exactly. Like if you are in something where you need a legal advice, you probably want to hear it one or two different ways to see which route you want to go in that direction. Just like if I was going to get something fixed on my knee and one doctor said you need to do it and the other doctor said no, you don't, I'm probably going to want to hear it from another individual and kind of see which way that goes. Well, planning for retirement that's a 10, 15, 20, 30 year venture. So why would you only want one opinion and one, this is the best way to do it, the only way to do it?
Yes, absolutely. And that's a great point because it's just like a knee surgery. One person says you need to replace the whole thing. One says you just need to tie up a ligament and you're done. It can mean a lot when it comes to how you function for the rest of your life. Same thing financially. I mean, if you've done a good job of planning, if it's really been the clients, and we see clients that have done a really good job, and clients that just kind of have been worried about growing a business, getting there, and now they bring pieces. Either way, a second opinion helps both out, in my opinion.
Well, another thing too is each firm and each financial advisor does a little bit differently, also has a different personality.
Yep.
Just like every client that we have has a different personality. You want to make sure that your personality fits not just with what they think is the best course of action for you, but just who they are as a person. It should be extremely important too, right?
Well, I would hope so because it's almost like, and I'm talking about like a surgeon or a specialist, like we're talking about, not a general doctor, but you want to make sure that the person, one that you're talking to, you trust, two, you like, because they're going to help make decisions not only as you bridge to retirement, but to your point earlier, that's, hopefully going to be a relationship you have for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Right.
So it's very important to, have a comfort level with that person, have a trust and build a rapport because at the end of the day, you're picking someone not only to make financial decisions for your retirement, but also kind of you're going to be in this together for a while. So.
Exactly. So you are hiring someone to come in and help manage the assets that you've accumulated up to that point, right? That's a very big responsibility. And even though that people may have different suggestions of how they should manage it, and all those suggestions may feel right to you, that personality might be that thing that really checks that box at the end. So if you were talking to your father right now and you weren't a financial advisor and he said that he's met a few people, what are some things that you would want to hear him verbalize to you before you'd be like, I think that's a really good fit?
Really, honestly, it's about his comfort level. So it's really that would be my first question is, who do you feel comfortable talking to on a daily basis? Not just, this guy had a whole bunch of stuff that he could do.
Yeah, he filled the table with all the graphs and everything.
Yeah, he had everything under the sun. He had all the tools in the world. In our business, we all have access to a lot of different tools. we can all slice it and cook it and cut it a different way. It's just, one person might have been too salesy. One person might have been way too detailed. Somebody else, for him, it'd be like, Dad, who do you trust? Who, when you sat down across from them, when you sat down with them, you truly felt like you could talk to them on a regular basis, because there's got to be communication. It's just like a relationship. You got to be able to be a two-way street. It's not just my way or the highway. And honestly, that's kind of what I would fill him out for, is who is he most comfortable with? And then from there, just see, okay, have another meeting, sit down with that person before you make a decision and talk in more detail and see if it wasn't just a one-time show, or make sure that second meeting you have that same feeling. If you do after 2 meetings, you have that trust, that comparability. To me, that's the most important part.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And just like you can go to like Broker Check or FINRA and you could take a look at how that advisor is as a financial advisor, having that personal aspect that you just described kind of marries those two together.
Yep.
And then from there, that'll really help kind of steer you in the correct direction of what makes sense from an investment standpoint. Because you said any competent financial advisor can give good financial advice. Is that advice from a fiduciary standpoint, and does it resonate to the end user, which is the client who hired the advisor?
Exactly.
Hey, I could tell you what I'm saying, or I could show you, but if you don't understand what I'm doing, am I really fitting the need that you need?
Yeah. I mean, and that's the reason you're there, is to find someone to help fit that need and help guide you through those times. And someone not just guide you through those times, but kind of to work hand in hand with you through the rest of your life. I mean, especially when it comes to just a long-term financial plan. Yeah, check their background, check their history, see how long they've been in the business, see if they have, check FINRA, check SEC, but also, make sure that you are together on a personal level as well.
Scott, as always, really, really good advice. And obviously you keep coming back to these, so you must enjoy it too. So
you keep inviting me, so I don't know.
All right.
I'll keep showing up.
All right, that's great. Those are some great tips on why it's important to have a second opinion, and I look forward to having you again. Once again, it's Chris Burns with Coffee Chat. Great having you.
Good one. Good way to end it with breakage triggers.
That's right.
Do I need to push stop?
Yeah. So now we all know.
The orange button?
Yeah.